Welcome back to the Wiccan Forum. Manny, you had something to say?
Yes. Before we get on to our next topic, I just want to go back to the previous topic we were speaking about the churchgoers and the going to church on the holy holidays. I just wanted to mention that we aren't trying to target anybody specific. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that. We were just making mention of an issue that we have seen. We know that demographic doesn't represent all of a specific religion, whether it be Christians or Catholics or Muslims or Jewish people. We know that those people that we were speaking of don't represent the religion as a whole. We were just speaking of the small percentage that we see. So, but now that with that being said,
well, I'll continue your conversation.
Okay.
I believe it is true because I was an altar server before I went into this.
Okay.
And you would be surprised at how many people went to an Easter Mass compared to a regular Sunday Mass. And it just blows my mind at how many cars were out there that they never go to church on a Sunday, but then they'll go Easter and Christmas and Good Friday, and then they'll go to Ash Wednesday and Palm Sunday. Well, if you're going to church and that's what you really want to do, then go every single week. And that was my point. But then if you don't want to go to church and you could speak to God or whatever you believe in, no matter where you are, then do that every week and just forget about the church.
Well, you're absolutely
That
right.
was my point.
And that is a point that I can agree with you on that, because aside from being Wiccan, I am also Muslim, as you know, and I don't go to the mosque every Friday like I'm supposed to, but I don't consider myself any less religious than anybody that does go every Friday.
But you don't also go on high holy days also.
No, well, you're absolutely right.
You choose not to.
I don't. But that's the thing. I don't believe that I should have to go to a specific building or any kind of place of worship, whether it be a church or a mosque or a synagogue or anything like that, to say, I am here, I worship you, I believe in you, when I can do that at home.
Exactly.
The building I go to, the building I'm in when I do this, makes absolutely no difference.
And it doesn't even have to be in a building.
People would recognize
it could be in a park.
You're
it could be in a
right.
car. It could be in an elevator saying, please give me a safe ride up.
You're
But
absolutely right.
I think a lot of people do that, where they say their prayers in the morning on the way to work.
Yeah, but then there's also those people that just go, why do you have to go to a church on a high holy day if you do it for the rest of the year?
I would say because of past life issues. Maybe a lot of people we've all had hundreds and hundreds of past lives. And in those hundreds of past lives, if you had 5 past lives where you were stoned in the Colosseum as a slave for practicing Christianity, you may have been born and raised as a Christian in this life, but your higher self is going like, I don't know, this is not such a good idea. And maybe if I only go twice a year, I won't get stoned in this lifetime. So a lot of it is subconscious, I think. A lot of it is past life issues that are influencing you in this lifetime, which is why a lot of people who are Wiccan don't really find themselves in the Wiccan religion until later in life, because their past lives, many, many Wiccans were burned and tortured and crucified and stoned, and even though they've probably been interested in it since they were a child, that higher self is going, I don't know about this. Last time you got involved in this, look what you got us into.
You bring up a very good point, because before the store, I wanted nothing to do with any of this. I thought it was all hocus pocus. I thought it was nothing but garbage, and I thought anybody who was Wiccan was crazy. I had a few, bolt short, or a picnic short of a picnic. Okay, better analogy. Okay, but now I've met really great people. I've read a lot of books. I've had awesome, experiences. And now I love this religion.
Well, you're absolutely right, because I think the typical stereotype with a Wiccan is that, for people who don't know, the typical stereotype is that they're devil worshippers, or they all have to dress in black. And I mean, when you see a person who's dressed in black, as they call goth, what's the first thing you think of?
Devil worshiping.
Okay, or something along those lines. And a lot of the times,
I usually think, why would you do that to yourself? And that's just me.
well, I mean, that's a good point also, you know, I mean, but to each his own. But I mean,
there is a reason that we do dress in black for some of our rituals. It's because in the burning times, you had to hide in the cover of darkness. And what a better way to hide in darkness than to be dressed in all black with the black cloak and everything.
Well, you're absolutely right, but that's in the darkness in night, not in the middle of the day when it's like 90 degrees out like it was actually this past week.
But I also love my reason. It's very slimming.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And getting
That's
back,
what you don't want people to see.
getting back to the church on Sunday when I had passed the church, I was very disappointed in the number of people that were not dressed up. They looked like they were going to the beach. I would never come here or go to someone's backyard to attend a ritual in shorts or flip-flops or lounge pants, because that would be so disrespectful to the gods. Whether you're Catholic
And
or
goddesses.
Wiccan, and the goddesses, let's not get the goddesses angry,
Let's
but that
not,
would be very
please.
disrespectful. Show respect for your religious beliefs and take proper care of yourself, because your body is your temple.
Oh,
But at the same time, we in our religion, we have a lot more training. I mean, not that I'm saying that the Christians aren't training their children, but it's mostly like learning the scripture, and you know, you're supposed to love your. But nobody actually sits the children down and says, you know, it's inappropriate to wear your muddy clothes to church. Whereas if somebody came in here, we wouldn't be mean to them, but we'd be like, you know, next time you come to ritual, you should be clean and well dressed.
yeah,
You know,
I don't.
Not that we're saying you dress
honestly,
up
I don't care what religion you are. I believe in a firm policy. Okay, everybody, listen. Look in a mirror before you leave the house. Okay.
Well, see, I can
Which
agree
goes back
with
to the
that.
goth issue.
See, I can agree
Come
with
on.
that. I mean, everybody
be
really
real.
does need to look in a mirror before they leave the house. I mean,
If
that's the
you're
thing.
heavy, you shouldn't wear spandex. I'm sorry.
But I also think it's of an issue of, for a lot of people, no matter what religion you are, sometimes church and going to church and religion is more of a chore for some people than it is to pay your respects to any god or goddess.
But back when I was growing up, and I'm sure with everyone else, you had to wear the hats. You know, you dressed up to go to church, especially on a high holy day. That was a holy day.
Well, you're absolutely right. When I used to go, it was, you know, new clothes, make
Mhm.
sure they were washed and cleaned and everything, you know, looked nice and all that stuff like
Yeah.
that. Obviously, you're not going to want to wear dirty clothes anywhere, but, I mean, that's not the point right now. I'm not
Really,
here or
people
there.
frown upon that?
Yeah,
See
you're
me
not
coming
supposed to
from
do
work?
that. Well, coming from work is different. They were clean when you went there, weren't they? See? So,
But I think
Right.
we all know what's expected of us, especially the people that we hang out with. We all know what is expected of us.
you're absolutely right.
And it's
We
also
know.
how people raise their children.
Well, you're absolutely right
Okay.
also.
That's a very, big part of it all. We were going to talk about past life regression. I hope we have enough time. But we're going to take a short commercial break first, and we'll be right back.